turned around, heading back. Yeah, Dave's loaded over. Yeah, we waited a couple of minutes, and Dave was the dust trail is not bad, and I thought something's not right. So yeah, we've just come back a kilometre or so. It's treacherous out here sometimes. Oh, you okay? Yeah, 180. That's not good. Hang on, I'll turn around. And welcome to another Mongrel Dog production, and welcome to this, the Nullarbor Muster at Rawlinna in Outback, Western Australia. Grab your gear. Let's go. Okay, I'm just on my way to meet a small group, 3 other riders, a few kilometres out of town. But firstly, I just want to mention some of the regular viewers have said, "Hey Steve, what's going on? Haven't heard from you for a little while. You haven't posted much stuff up." And the reason for that is it's we're just into our autumn now. Summer has come and gone, but you don't want to go out back during the Australian summer. That's just asking for trouble. That's dangerous. So I've not been out on the motorbike. Having said that, I've not been idle either. I've cycle toured through South Korea and down the east coast of Malaysia during our summer. I did post a couple of videos about that. Anyway, back to now. So yeah, I'm on my way to meet a small group. We're going to spend 3 days transiting to an Outback Rodeo in Outback, West Australia. More on that later. And for the first time in a long time, I'm on the DR650. It hasn't been out of the shed for about 12 months. Because I lean more towards my 1200 BMW. It's a much more comfortable bike for outback travel. But on this trip, there is a particular road or track that I haven't done, and I'm concerned about the conditions. So I thought the lighter bike might be an option. Anyway, we'll make our way towards the start point, and we'll take it from there. Right, we're just outside of the metropolitan area. Place called Carragallum. Got time to refuel. I'm early, so yeah, time to refuel, get a guts full of petrol, and time for a light breakfast. Hello, I already see one bike. That's Dave on his 1200. Interestingly, Dave has had a 21-inch front wheel fitted to his bike, and I'm extremely interested to see how that goes. More on that later. Dunno. Okay. Now, who's who in the zoo? Chris on his DR650. Chris and I we've covered some kilometres together. Paul Kotz on his DR650. He's been on a couple of rides with us. He was the bloke who experienced all that problem last time when he was on his DRZ400. If you like, Chris, yep. Yeah, his trip was over within the first couple of days.
This isn't good. Unfortunately, the bolt for the sprocket, or the nut for the sprocket, has come off. The seal behind the sprocket has failed, and there's oil everywhere. I'd say my ride's over.
And the bloke on the end, Dave and I crossed the country last year going to a motorcycle rally in the Barossa Valley. So collectively we've not ridden together, but certainly I've spent time with each one of them. So yeah, we'll be right. So yeah, first 60 kilometres or so on blacktop, and then good farm tracks and roads heading towards Hyden. Uh-oh. This can't be good. This cannot be good. Somebody's jackknifed. Oh, I think they've had a head on. Oh yeah, it's an accident. Oh shit. Jesus, somebody's holiday is ruined. Nothing we can do. You're right, mate? Nothing we can do to provide assistance. I'm sure somebody's called emergency services. Dang. Alright, we've left the blacktop, the Brookton Highway. We'll be on a mixture of farm roads and a little bit of blacktop now between here and Hyden. We've had a bit of rain overnight and it was wet this morning, but I think it'll be alright the further east we head. Must have had a rain band come through recently, because yeah, a bit squishy underfoot out there. It's a bloke on a push bike with a support crew. Not quite sure why. Obviously raising money for a cause or charity. Good luck to him. We're about to roll in a Hyden now. We'll stop long enough for fuel and a bite to eat. Been a pretty seamless journey to get here. Mostly unsealed. Some of it was a bit damp. They must have had a rain band come through, but it only went so far, and then I was actually leaving a dust trail behind me. So, but anyway, we're here now. As I said, we'll get a bite to eat, regain our composure, and then continue heading east towards our destination for the evening. Okay, leaving Hyden. Yeah, we've got about 100 kilometres of sealed road. They keep on extending this road more and more as far as sealing it is concerned. Every time I use it, there's a bit more of it's been completed, but after 100 kilometres we're going to be on the dirt pretty much for the next 6 or 7 days. Other than some small strips, some small ribbons of asphalt going through Kalgoorlie. Yeah, we'll be on the dirt for a little while. Had a few spots of rain while we've been here, but I don't think it's going to impact the journey. I've been checking the road status often, and this road was closed up until about 2 days ago. We've had rain come through here, but it's open now, and I think we should be okay. It's a high-speed gravel road, usually in good condition, providing it's dry. When it's wet, it's a different story. It's very dangerous very quickly. Anyway, we should be where we need to be in a couple of hours. Yeah, the roads are open through to Norseman. Well, this is the beginning of the gravel. It's going to stop filtering the bikes. Everything's alright. And now we'll head off. Yeah, this road usually has a little bit of traffic on it, only because, I mean, this road effectively heads due east out of Perth and comes out at Norseman, and the only other option is to take the Great Eastern Highway, which travels slightly northeast. It's not as direct, but the beauty of this road, especially if you're towing a caravan, it gets you away from all the heavy traffic. The semi-trailers and the road trains, because they become a bit of a liability, they'll only sit on 80, 90, whereas the road trains will sit on 100. So in a lot of cases this road is a more viable option. There's a couple of good campsites along the way, there's a couple of things to see and do, and it just gets you off that main road. And that's the reason why we prefer to come this way. It gets you off the highway. I was trying to undertake him. I was hoping he'd get the idea so I could stay out of his dust. But he's not on the same page. That's alright. Right, we're approaching our destination for today, the Breakaways. We've been here before, more than once. It can get pretty busy here, and it wouldn't surprise me if all those vans that we've passed will make this their destination. The attraction here is a long drop dunny and some tables and chairs, concrete tables and chairs. But the problem is that usually it's devoid of firewood at the main campsite. Usually like a fire. That's our way of cooking and stuff. So we'll go out towards the back where it's a little bit quieter, but at least we'll be guaranteed some firewood. 1, 2, 3. There's probably others I can't see. So yeah, if you get those other vans that are inbound, you know, by the morning there could be a dozen vehicles here. Oop. The boys are behind me. So yeah, we'll just follow this for a few hundred metres. Oh dear, you wouldn't want to be here when it's wet. If it rains overnight, you probably end up staying here for a week. Might turn around, I think, and just go back up. We don't need much. A little bit soft here. Dave, I don't think Dave will struggle. He's pretty competent. Alright, I guess I should explain just what the hell we're doing out here. We're going to attend a thing called the Nullarbor Muster, originally called the Rawlinna Muster. It's a rodeo held annually in an old abandoned community called Rawlinna. It's on the Transcontinental Railway line, which is the only railway line that crosses the country. And back in the day, back in the day of steam, yeah, these communities were dotted all across the railway line, you know, for maintenance and provisions and water and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, they've all closed down now. They're all gone because of diesel electric engines or whatever they're using. But Rawlinna was the last one standing. Still some buildings left, and certainly the old showground, but there's no infrastructure, there's no provisions, no nothing. But anyway, annually they a lot of the pastoralists and landholders get together and put on this Nullarbor Muster, which is effectively 2 or 2.5 days of cowboy type stuff. Now, I'm not heavily into rodeos, but it's the only time of the year where fuel is available, unleaded. So the reason we're going there is to actually obtain some spare fuel, and we're going to cache it in the bush on the way back in anticipation of a thing called Desert Raid, which is held later in the year in August. And Desert Raid is held every other year, and this year it's been held at a place called the Shooter Shack, which is very, very remote, and fuel is going to be the biggest issue, resupply. So yeah, we're taking this opportunity to attend the rodeo for a bit of fun, something different, and then of course cache the fuel in the bush on the way back, and that will just give us different options as far as getting to Desert Raid in August and getting home. So that's the motive for this this trip. No destination in mind today. We'll be somewhere along the Trans-Australian Railway line, and we'll arrive at Rawlinna sometime tomorrow. From here we continue heading east down the Hyden to Norseman Road. We'll get to a junction, we'll turn left onto a thing called Victoria Rocks Road, and then head towards Coolgardie and onto Kalgoorlie for fuel and maybe a bite to eat. A little bit of rain overnight, nothing of note, nothing that's going to impact our journey, and we'll have a tailwind today. 1, 2, 3, that's it, all accounted for. See you on the other side. This is the junction for Victoria Rocks Road. If you continue heading east, you get to Norseman, and of course from there the air highway and across to the eastern states and South Australia. In our case, we're going to head up pretty much sort of northeast-ish and make our way to Coolgardie. This road was also closed up until a few days ago. It doesn't take much rain before they close the roads, because otherwise they just get torn up by vehicles, caravans, trucks. I've just turned around just to make sure I've still got them. Certainly I saw Dave at that last junction. Yeah, occasionally it's good just to stop and make sure you got them all. Be nothing worse than getting 50 kilometres down the road and then find out somebody's had a puncture or something similar. Well, this is a bit odd. I've been here for a few minutes. No headlights in the distance. I'll give it another couple of minutes, but then I might start heading back, I think. Because, yeah, this is unusual. Oh, yep. There's a headlight. And another one behind it. Still a bit of still water lying around. G'day, mate. There's 4 of us. Cheers, mate. I've got an uneasy feeling about this again. I've parked just up the road there. That's the end of the Holland track, which is another story. But anyway, yeah, I thought, we've been travelling far enough to, warrant having a break. So I've pulled up and I've just walked down a bit in the hope that I could get some footage of these blokes as they come around the bend. But I've been here a few minutes, and I mean there have been, you know, a couple of snotty spots. But geez, I'd hate to think that somebody's crashed. I'll wait for a little while longer. Nah, everybody's alright. Just had to pull over to chuck a piss. So we'll keep going. The terrain and the landscape keeps changing constantly out here. One minute you're in heavily timbered areas, next minute you're out in this stuff. Through there is Victoria Rocks. That's where the road gets its name from. It's a well-formed gravel road from here through to Coolgardie now. Right, this is Coolgardie. All of us should have enough fuel to get us to Kalgoorlie, but we'll stop here for those who wish to refuel, get a bite to eat, a bit of a break, check the emails and messages, and then continue heading east to Kalgoorlie. Kalgoorlie's not far, I don't know, 30 kilometres perhaps. You come all this way for a cup of coffee only to find out that their machine is on the fritz. We'll make our way to Kalgoorlie, pull up there for an hour. Just had some junk food just to satisfy a want. While we were transiting to Kalgoorlie, I was doing some thinking, because I do that, and we're going to cache 10 litres of fuel out in the bush, and we were going to get that fuel from Rawlinna, but I figured while we're here we might as well get the fuel from here, because firstly it's going to be cheaper, secondly unleaded is going to be in short supply at Rawlinna. So what we'll do is we'll fill up our jerrys here, we'll ride to a place called Xanthus, which is an old siding. There's not much there, it's 200 k's up the road, and by the time we get there it's probably time to bush camp anyway, so that'll give us an opportunity to suss the place out, maybe find a suitable burial site, and that'll be halfway to Rawlinna anyway, so we'll only have a couple of hours of transit tomorrow. So we'll fill up the jerrys here, ride for a couple of hours, and then pull up and take it from there. Does that look good? During every trip there are certain times when I get a bit anxious, and I mean we're about to enter the Badlands now. You know, it's 400 kilometres to destination at Rawlinna, and no support in between here and there, of course. Well, it's early morning. Pardon me. Yeah, we're just going to go and cache this fuel in the bush. We'll dig a hole. The three of us, we've each got 10 litres. We'll put it in the one hole and cover it over in the anticipation of coming either in or out this way in August for Desert Raid. 2 for 2. This bloke's done it before.
Let's go, Nicholas Forrester, Mr. Nibbles. We'll see you getting a bit of spur and action going there, a few extra points.